Hi, welcome to Kinnick's Corner. I'm Jerry. I'm your host. Well, all good things must come to an end, and the Red Sox winning streak snapped at 15, tying the club's all-time record set back in 1946, 80 years ago. They went over some of the things that were going on 80 years ago. Harry Truman was the president. A car cost $1,200. Gallon of gasoline, 15 cents. A new house, $5,600. Well, we don't have those prices today, but we did have a 15-game winning streak, and that was snapped yesterday, 5-1. And there was a few mistakes made by the Sox. By the way, I'm not nitpicking here. This isn't second guessing. But to start with Eduardo Rivera, was what were you hoping to get out of him? Two innings, and he couldn't give you that. He gave you two-thirds of an inning. We're going to get to that in a second. And then they had to bring in Brian Bayo anyway, already down 4-0, and the game was lost. So not good. They basically gave their 15-game winning streak away, or the idea of breaking the record. There's a couple of other things too. Number one, well, I said Rivera isn't ready for that sort of situation, the pressure, everything else. He should have gotten out of the first inning. There was a ground ball to third with one out and runners on first and second, and Durbin threw to second. And the umpires claimed that Anthony Ziegler dropped the ball. Clear replay showed that he was in the process of exchanging the ball from his glove to his hand when the ball came out. And the Red Sox chose not to challenge it. And I said at the time, you have to challenge that. Whether it's 50-50 or even less than 50-50, it gets the kid close to getting out of that inning. He struck out the next guy, but still with the bases loaded and two outs, no score, he gave up back-to-back hits to give him 4 runs, and the Red Sox never were in the game after that, losing 5-1. So, two mistakes. One, starting Eduardo was one, and two, not challenging the play at second base, error number 2. But we can't complain too much, can we? I mean, this was just a fabulous run, and it showed great heart. We were down in so many games. Uh, and by the way, they might have lost the game anyway, even with doing those things right. Bradish was terrific last night. He's just signed a long extension, and that's the reason why. He gave the Orioles all they could handle. Although the game is different if the game is 0-0 or 1-0 or 1-1. Different amount of pressure on Bradish then. 4-0 lead, he's just pounded the strike zone after that. So we'll have to start a new one. As for the wild card race, the Red Sox are firmly in third place for the final wild card spot. They're only a game behind Cleveland, both equal in the loss column. The Red Sox have played 2 less games. They've got to win them both to tie Cleveland up. But that's not bad. They've got a full 2-game lead over Seattle, who's next up, and a full 3-game lead over the Orioles, and I think it's Minnesota. Is it? It is. It's Minnesota. So that's a good thing. And by the way, with both the Orioles and Minnesota, it's 4 in the loss column. So the Sox are in pretty good shape as far as that goes. Now, what do we have going forward? Oh, and also last night, the teams around the Red Sox yesterday went 4-5, with the Indians, Twins, Rays, and Houston winning. And the losers were Seattle, which is important because, as I said, they're closest to the Sox. The Jays, Texas, and the Yankees. The Yankees split a doubleheader, as did the Red Sox. So no harm done there. Let's see. What are the Red Sox going to do in the trade deadline? It's a week from Monday. There's all kinds of talk out there. Bobby Witt Jr. Hard to see that happening, although you would do whatever you had to do to get a Bobby Witt Jr. or Alvarez. A friend of mine and I asked a friend of mine who follows baseball like I do, who are the 5 best players in the American League? And you define best any way you want. And we both came up with the same exact 5. Bobby Witt Jr., Jordan Alvarez, who could win the Triple Crown this year, Caminero, Junior Caminero from the Tampa Bay Rays, Aaron Judge, and Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians. And, there's talk that Alvarez could be available. for the right package. There's talk that Bobby Witt Jr. could be available for the right package. I'll believe that when I see it. Both those teams still need to sell tickets, and to give up on either of those guys, getting a bunch of minor leaguers in return, that would be hard to believe. Now, what are the Sox going to do? Well, there's been talk about the shortstop from the Nationals. There's been talk about Neto, shortstop from the Angels. Uh, I'm not sure. I think they'll make. I do believe the Red Sox will go out and get a big bat. I think they have to. The last two trade deadlines have been non-events. There's a wide open path in the American League this year. There's nobody better than them right now. Even the Yankees, even Tampa Bay. They just went 8-0 against those two teams. Now, the next series could be totally different. I get that. But you're right there. And so they have to do two things. One, they have to go get a big bat. And two, they can't disturb the karma, for lack of a better word, the atmosphere in the clubhouse that the Red Sox currently have. So they're threading a fine needle there. But it has to be done, especially, like I said, after the last 2 years when they did very little at the trade deadline, getting Dustin May. And they lost that deal because the kid that they gave up, Tibbs, is tearing the cover off the wall at AAA. If he was in any other organization, he'd probably be in the big leagues already, other than the Dodgers. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. I'm hopeful that they will do something big. I don't think they have to do much with pitching, unlike a lot of people. They're going to be getting Suarez back in the next day or two. Wish he was there last night. And Connolly Early is starting to throw. So they've got starting pitching, and we'll wait and see on whether they go out and get that big bat that they need. They'll get a hitter. I have no doubt about that. Now, this weekend, they play Toronto for 3 games. Toronto has their pitchers all lined up with Trey Savage going first, then Dylan Cease, and then Gausman. I've always liked Gausman. But Toronto's playing badly right now. So my goal going into that would be to win 2 out of 3. That'll keep you in Feinstead. They go to the West Coast after that for 4 games in Sacramento, used to be Oakland, and then 3 games with the world champion LA Dodgers. So, and that finishes off the time before the trade deadline. And on that Monday, we'll know what we're going to get at 6 o'clock that day. So that's our show for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And hopefully the Sox will continue a new winning streak, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. I'm Jerry. This is Kinig's Corner. Once again, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Helps the algorithm. And leave a comment. We had 3 comments by Alex B. the other day, and we appreciated that. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.